You're watching WNDU TV. News Center 16 at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I am Kim Shine. Notre Dame's dream regular season is now just one win away from perfection. You just saw the Irish crush the Syracuse Orange 36-3 in Yankee Stadium here on WNDU. And we have team coverage as Notre Dame goes 11-0. Alex Wilcox joins us from New York to analyze the win in just a few minutes. But first, let's start with Chuck Freeby and the highlights.
Kim, the history of Notre Dame Stadium Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium is filled with dramatic lore, but if you wanted drama in Gotham today, you'd better head to Broadway because there was none to be found at the house that Ruth built. Notre Dame's second drive of the game, the Irish came out in those pinstripe pants, and Ian Book hits Dexter Williams. He fights his way to the goal line, touchdown Irish, and Notre Dame's on top 7-zip. Very next play from scrimmage, Syracuse quarterback Eric Dungy picked off by Jalen Elliott. His fourth interception of the year led to a Justin Yoon field goal to make it 10-0. Then there was a scary moment for Syracuse fans. Later in the quarter, Dungy, their star quarterback, falls down as he sets up the play. They're calling it an upper body injury for the Syracuse quarterback. He never returned. 2 minutes later, Book looks deep and finds Chase Claypool, who makes a spectacular grab, 32 yards. That resulted in a Yoon field goal to make it 13-0. Started the second quarter. Tommy DeVito, the backup quarterback, throws it right into Alohi Gilman's hands for the interception. And 5 minutes later, Gilman would make a more spectacular pick as he initiates the contact, gets his second interception of the day, and takes it down the sideline all the way inside the Syracuse 10-yard line. Boy, the very next play, Notre Dame would make the Orange pay. Jafar Armstrong would take more than one small step here as he gets into the end zone after the fake pitch from Book. Notre Dame on top 20-0. In the third, Yoon hits a 29-yard field goal. This puts Notre Dame on top 23-0, but that field goal ties Kyle Brinza for the most field goals in Notre Dame history. And then later in the quarter, Book would throw a dart to Chase Claypool for the touchdown. The Irish dominate once again as they defeat Syracuse 36-3. So there's the action. For the reaction, let's go to Alex at Yankee Stadium.
Chuck, thank you. Coming to you live from the sidelines, I guess we'll call it, here at Yankee Stadium, as the Irish just wrapped up their 36-3 win over Syracuse to improve to 11-0. I'm joined here by Tim Prister of Irish Illustrated, as always, for our post-game report. Tim, we just showed the highlights. We know how they did it, but really this was a game that was dominated by the defense. They shut out Syracuse for pretty much the entirety of the game. This was a team that was averaging 82 plays a game, averaging 44 points a game. How'd they do it?
Well, it helps when you knock their quarterback out. There's no doubt about that. But Tommy DeVito had been very effective prior to this. But Notre Dame's secondary just clamped down. That's a good receiving core and a real dangerous passing game. They gave up. There was a little bit of give in the middle of the defensive line, which there has been on occasion. But the bottom line was shutting down the passing game the way that they did. Good in the red zone. They almost got away with a shutout, but Syracuse was bent on obviously getting some points on the board. They missed the one and got the next one. But just a dominant performance by the Notre Dame defense. I don't know that anybody really believed that they would dominate to that level because Dungy and his receiving core have been so good. But, I mean, bottom line, they stomped them.
They definitely did. On the offensive side of the ball, Chip Long got a little creative with his play calling. At one point, he used both Brandon Wimbush and Ian Book at the same time, was using some misdirection, that sort of thing. What did you see from him from the play calling and really just the offense in general? Good to have Ian Book back, certainly.
Well, I thought the best play call was after the long interception return by Alohi Gilman on 1st and goal at the 9 when it looked like it was going to be a pitch to Dexter Williams, and it was a handoff to Jafar Armstrong for the touchdown. You know, they left points on the board. There's no doubt about it. I don't think it's Chip Long's fault per se. They just bogged down in the red zone a little bit. But the whole key was Ian Book was back, and he's distributing the football. It's a pretty ferocious pass rusher. It has been all year for Syracuse. But Ian Book is just so calm and so collected and so pulled together that when he has to make a play, he can stretch a play out and make it. And I almost threw for 300 yards. Notre Dame more than doubled Syracuse in total yardage. If it were earlier in the season, they may bemoan some of the points that they left on the board, but at this stage, to throw up a 36-3 win in Game 11 and move to 11-0, that's all that really matters.
Exactly. As you mentioned, 11-0, undefeated. They've got just one game left, the season finale next week against USC, with an undefeated season on the line. I mean, big picture here, Notre Dame is one game away from making the college football playoff.
They are, and you have to go to USC to win it. They've gone there. Brian Kelly has had some success when they were undefeated going there 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember a couple times, though, when they went there and didn't have as much success. But USC's in a battle with UCLA right now. I think Notre Dame fans should probably cheer for UCLA just to completely demoralize USC next week. But the bottom line here, as far as that matchup next week, Notre Dame's the better football team, clearly the better football team. I thought going into the night that something fluky could happen to cause them to lose, but Notre Dame would be focused and play well. I think by and large that's what happened. I think that will happen next week as well. A loss to UCLA by USC probably wouldn't hurt.
All right, Tim, thanks so much for joining us. As always, Tim Prister of Irish Illustrated joining us live from the sidelines of Yankee Stadium. Chuck, we'll throw it back to you. We've got to get in there and talk to these guys for the post-game press conference.
Absolutely. And fans, remember, you can subscribe to Irish Illustrated. It is the #1 source for Notre Dame sports online. Just head to irishillustrated.com, click on join, and find the best plan for you. The 11th straight game, Notre Dame held an opponent below its scoring average. Syracuse came in averaging 44 points a game. The Irish defense provided the locks, and Syracuse got little more than a bagel tonight, losing 36-3. Kim?
It's definitely an exciting game, and I can't wait to see what they do next. I mean, this could be 12-0.
Has been a very exciting season. The LA Coliseum, though, at times has been a house of horrors for the Irish.
Definitely so. Can't wait. Thank you so much. All right, well, Notre Dame has a long history of playing at Yankee Stadium. Knute Rockne even gave the famous Win One for the Gipper speech there in 1928. It's where the term Subway alumni was born. And those fans and some Notre Dame grads were out in force in the Bronx today.
We go all over. You know, we went to Ireland to see him play in Ireland. We're going back to see him play when they go back to Ireland again.
Yeah, go Irish.
Let's go, baby. Let's go Orange.
Woo! Orange, let's go. Big upset today.
Go Irish. That's right, baby.
Let's go! Let's go Irish! Let's do it! Let's go Irish! Notre Dame!
Go Irish! Go Irish!
Yeah, let's go Irish!
This is better than the 12 team?
Absolutely, yeah. We can beat you running the ball. We can beat you throwing. We play great defense, special teams. So this is it. Alabama's going down this year.
Wow.
This is the team that takes them down. Take it to the bank.
I love it.
Notre Dame 38-17 today.
Okay. All right.
Book's going to throw for 400 yards.
Woo.
Our defense will limit them to 2 touchdowns.
So you're not nervous at all about this game?
No, I don't think so. Just as long as Notre Dame comes to play, for sure.
All right, what's your name?
Len.
Oh, what's your last name?
Zanowicz.
Can you spell that for me?
Zanowicz. I'm the Polish leprechaun here.
Polish leprechaun. All right.
We're from New Jersey.
Go Irish! Go Irish!
Go Irish is right. And we are excited to tell you that News Center 16's countdown to kickoff is headed on the road again next week for Notre Dame's clash with USC in Los Angeles. Join Chuck, Alex, and Mark Skoll Jr. at 7:30 next Saturday night right here on WNDU.